Hi guys, it's Dr. Seuss here again, and we are finalizing this module. I hope you guys are really enjoying the assignment. Let's take a look at the next assignment. This is a really important one because it's going to be connected to the Lifeline project, which is actually introduced in this module at the very end when you're done completing everything. So this is about delivery risks and complications of birth. And what you're going to do here is you're going to learn a little bit about yourself. So I won't go into the Lifeline project too much, but it's a paper about you, and it's going to be due at the end of the semester. And there's a whole explanation about that assignment on a different recording. But for this particular assignment, you're going to get a taste of what you're going to be putting into that major assignment. In fact, you can cut and paste what you put here into that big assignment. That's going to be completely okay. So that's why I want to make sure that you understand this really well, and that we get, everything in the right place. So first things first, it's really important that you take a look at the reading that's offered here. And then what you're going to do is you're going to consult with your parents about your birth and what happened during your birth. Now, if you only have one parent, you can ask that parent. Try to get as much information as possible. If you don't have your parents in your life now, or maybe you were a foster kid, or you were raised by another individual, and you don't have that information, the next question I would say is, do you have your own child? And then we can use this as looking at one of your own kids, okay? The other option, if you don't have kids and you don't have your own parents anymore, then I would suggest asking a friend and seeing if maybe you could potentially interview them about one of their children, or about their and ask about their own childhood at that time. Okay, so what we're really trying to do is just get some answers, and then from those answers we're going to compare with what research says. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit more about what I'm talking about. You're going to answer these questions. What delivery approaches did your mom take to have you? So were you delivered in a hospital? Did you do at-home birth? Like what did that look like? So you're going to describe that. And you can see all the different types of approaches in the readings. So take a look at that. Describe the events leading up to your delivery. Where did the delivery take place? Who was present? What were some specific techniques or medications used? What was your APGAR score? If you're not sure what the APGAR score is, then my suggestion would be to go back to that reading, because that's where I talk about it. So you want to look at that APGAR score and what were some of the indicators of that score. And then what was your first week like at home? Were there any difficulties, problems, adjustments? What was, your birth, right after birth, what was that looking like? Were you breastfed or bottle fed when you were introduced to solid foods? And how old were you when you started to roll over or sit up, or start to, cruise and crawl? What were some of your favorite toys, favorite books, games, or activities that you used to play as a baby? And was there any more than one language being spoken in your house? How about siblings? Did you have younger siblings, older siblings? And then lastly, how was your parents describing your temperament at that time? Were you an easy child that had sort of slow to warm up, or did you have a difficult temperament? Was it difficult for you to adjust? Did you have bad sleeping habits? Did you adapt in a difficult way in situations? These are all the questions you're going to try to get answers for, okay? The next piece is you're going to do some of the reading again, go back to your readings, go and do a little bit of an internet search, and you're going to look at what is the average score for an APGAR score, APGAR test. What is at risk? If you were at risk, what's the typical number of kids that are at risk when they do the APGAR test when they are first born? What about the average age for stopping bottle feeding, or possible differences in culture compared to your own? And then if you were a first child, what was what is the typical temperament of a first child? How about if you were the last baby? What's the typical temperament for a last baby? Do a little bit of research. It doesn't have to necessarily be these three questions. You honestly can pick other things like you could look at, you know, typical toys for babies right when they're born. What you're trying to do is you're going to look at the research and then you're going to compare it with your actual life or the life of another baby. Okay. So again, what we're trying to do is look at an existing person's life at that time and then compare it with the norms of research or the or cultural research or any of those types of things you might find on the internet or in our readings. Okay. Don't forget to cite. You want to make sure you reference. I'm going to, it's in module 1, but I'll put another link here for APA to remind you. And again, as you're talking about your APGAR score, talk about the typical norms, talk about the typical risks for APGAR, and then cite it. That's what we're trying to do here. Okay. I think you'll enjoy this. Again, this is the first part of the big assignment, which is going to be your entire childhood. So prepare for that. But we'll be taking chunks of that throughout the semester to help you get a high score and really, really do well on that assignment. So this is one of the first steps of helping you prepare for that assignment. Okay. So get it done, tackle it, do a really good job, and really enjoy discussing the similarities and differences with your peers. That'll be fun too. All right, that's it for now. Talk to you later. Be good. You got this.